Hi, Hiroko.
Hi. Wait, I feel nervous.
Okay, say the same again.
Sorry. It's been ages.
So, first of all, I can't believe that I'm talking to or interviewing the famous Hiroko.
No, I mean,
How does it feel when you're probably one of the most recognizable faces from Asian Boss as far as being a reporter and a host? And so that people always like, oh, that's the Hiroko from Asian Boss, right?
that's kind of true. Like,
It is.
Like many people said hi on the street. Like,
crazy.
oh, Hiroko from Asian Boss. And I'm like, hi. Even in Hawaii, when I was on
Hawaii?
vacation, long time ago though, like at least 5 years ago, I went to Hawaii alone for fun. And then I went to the bar and like some strangers came to me like, oh, Hiroko from Asian Boss. And I'm like, wow, even people from foreign
Hawaii,
countries.
yeah. It's pretty crazy that people from that part of the world would recognize you. But then you are kind of famous. I mean, how many viral videos do you have?
Thanks to Asian Boss. Like one of it has like over 10, 12,
Insane.
13
and
million.
include all the social media views.
True.
It'll be easily like tens of millions.
That's so true. That's so true.
So, how does it feel to be one of the most recognizable faces in Asian Boss, where you're always in the interviewing position, and how does it feel to be interviewed by me? I'm joking, by the way. This is not really an interview; it's a conversation. So.
But I don't know what to do. You know, originally I was one of your fans, right? Like long time ago, before I became a part of the family. I was just a fan.
Right.
Like I was watching you guys on YouTube, and I was an English teacher showing your videos.
Yeah.
I can't believe like I became, such a huge part of Asian Boss.
I know. I mean, we are pretty much like family because we text all the time.
Yeah.
And even after you had to move on to have family, and now you have two children.
I was learning from you and Kay, and I was also an interviewer.
Many times.
Yeah, not interviewee. Like I never thought I would be the guest of Asian Boss. I'm like, what? Who would want to watch it?
Well, no. We've always wanted to do this because I think, as you get approached, we also get a lot of feedback. And even to this day, people are like, oh, where's Hiroko? What happened, right?
It's
because
been
I think
years, right?
Yeah, but I think it speaks to almost your personality, how magnetic you are as a personality, that you make other people feel so comfortable, and you also make it fun. You have a very, at least from the audience point of view, a very kind of like a curious and authentic type of approach, that you don't judge people. And that's one of the things that we get told many times, is that Hiroko will just talk to anybody without any pre sense of judgment.
Really?
Right. So, we can definitely go into more of your mindset. But before we get into that, where are we right now?
My house. After having my second baby, we've decided to move to a bigger house. Maybe it's still tiny to people from, abroad.
But by Japan's...
It's not tiny. It's because I wanted my kids to run around and, have fun.
Right.
I love them so much. Yeah. They are... I never thought like I can get someone that I love more than myself. But yeah, I'm so happy to have them. But still, if I need to be, taking care of them 24/7 alone, I will freak out. So thanks to my family members' support, I can be like, good mom, most of the time. Yeah. It's super fun, but super hard at the same time. So
I can imagine.
You can always, stay at mine.
Oh, me?
You have we have the bed for guests. So, yeah. Please take care of my children.
Okay. because I don't come to Japan very often. But I promise you that whenever I come to Japan, I will visit and I will also try to take care of
Yeah.
the
Thank you,
kids.
thank you. Could you share me the copy of this video so that
So I think people are still very curious as to how you ended up becoming such a good interviewer and a host, especially on camera. And maybe you could just walk people through what kind of background that you have. For example, people might think that you have a professional journalism background. Right?
Always I get that from
Right.
people.
Or
But
how you speak
no.
English so well. So can you just briefly walk us through
Okay.
like how you, even before you met us,
Got it.
like were you always interested in this type of like, talking to people, interviewing people, social issues, things like that?
Well, social issues, nope. But talking to people, interviewing people, yes.
Right.
Like, fun fact, when I visited Hawaii with my mom, who is an English teacher, so I've learned my English from my mom. When I was like, since I was baby, I'm always like mama mama type of baby, and I love her the most still. And I see other kids as enemies still. And I was like grabbing her legs. I was going to her English class lessons as a student. Every single one of her lessons I was joining with her, and I was screaming, "Hey, Apple!" Like here.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to show every one of her students that she's mine. So that's how I learned English.
Wow.
And when we visited Hawaii together, my mom let me go say hi to some random strangers. I think she told me like, Hiroko, you need to ask their stories, at least 5 of them. Otherwise, you can't come back to the hotel.
So your mom almost like trained you from that age.
No. Like after growing up.
Oh, I see.
Like,
I see.
I don't know, 20 something, when I was 20 or 21. When we went to Hawaii together, I told her like, I don't think my English good enough. And I don't know what I don't know. I don't know how to improve English, blah, blah, blah. Then she was like, just do it. And she like told me, do not come back until you record yourself and some random strangers talking in English. And if you can gather 5 of those video clips, you can come back.
Wow.
And
That's actually a pretty good approach. I would recommend it.
yeah, I went to the community center or something and said hi to grandma. And one of those 5 people, grandma, like became my pen pal for like, I don't
Pen
know,
pal.
6 months after that. Talking to people, saying hi, asking their stories, that was something that I had been interested in from the first place. But political issues, not really my strong suit still. But anyways, I was showing one of my students who were facing, how can I say, who were having hard times. And he lost his confidence. And he was blaming himself too hard. It was almost like there were too many taboos in my society. And I wanted him to, how can I say, stop judging himself. Maybe just using English as a tool, he could just learn like, oh, in this country, this taboo rule does not exist. That this taboo rule in Japan is actually a good thing in this country. I wanted him to know those stuff. That's
So you
why.
wanted to get him a different perspective.
Yes.
Right.
That's why I was showing YouTube videos in English. Back then, I was helping my mom's English school as an English teacher.
Wow, okay.
And for the record, I wasn't showing YouTube videos during the lesson.
I see.
After the lesson, he always stayed for about like 30 minutes to an hour. He didn't want to go back.
Oh.
He wanted someone to talk and like listen to his, stories. So usually me or my mom was there for him. And we were cheering him up. And then I was showing like, look at this cabin on video I found. And then he became fun. And that's when we decided to like said hi to you guys, and I didn't want him to, how can I say hi to, sorry, strangers online, because he was like under 18.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to say hi to you guys first. And then that's how we connected, right?
That's right. Up until then, like, what was sort of your impression of Asian Boss? Because I think that's such a long time ago now, but then...
Long time ago. Like, you guys weren't real to me, to be honest, because like, wow, people from YouTube, from abroad.
Right.
I don't think they will ever reply me. That's what I thought. I didn't think you guys actually replied me back and decided to talk on the video call that quick. So I was so surprised, and I was so excited to be a part of, your members.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think I first joined you as a volunteer staff, and I was just, I don't know, like videographer or script translator, whatever.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I could improve my English level through working on projects with you guys.
Yeah.
So for me, wow, free English lessons. That's what I thought too.
Yeah. I think what stood out for me was the fact that, number one, you're bilingual. So you could speak both English and Japanese at the same time. And also, you seem to be very proactive. So you
True.
would, whatever we thought, hey, is this possible? And you're like, I can try. Right? You never said, oh, no, that can be done. And then I think at the time, there was around the time when we were really trying to expand our coverage. And, you were in Japan, both Kay and I, we were based in Seoul, Korea. And so, we really need somebody from Japan to build out a team. And then I think you just showed up at the perfect timing.
And we had other members too.
That's right, that's right.
And then I continued to work with you guys for like 5 years at least.
Yeah.
And then volunteer work became work.
Yes.
And then it became my full-time work.
Yes.
It changed my life 180 degree, not 360.
Oh, right, because 360 is like you ended up in the same position.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but seriously, it changed my life. And thanks to that experience, I mean, most of the videos went viral, and I was on that video. Thanks to that, I've got so many job offers from huge brands.
Yeah. One of which you ended up taking. So when you first started like working with us, did you have any like not professional, but did you have any interviewing experience?
No, except for the Hawaii one with my mom.
Right. So
no, never.
So when we asked you, hey, can you do interview random people on the streets? Because we had started with a street interview, right?
Right, but I wasn't gonna be a reporter.
Right.
I think I was a videographer first.
Yes.
And then after a few shootings with Kay, I think, like when there was no one, we had no choice. Yeah. But hey, I could speak Japanese. That's why I became a reporter, I think.
Yeah. What sort of went into your preparation? So, for example, I don't think people see how much work and research we put in behind the scenes. They just think
that's
that
90%
just
of the
right
work. It's super hard, right?
So maybe just for people who don't know, typical street interview from scratch. Maybe describe the process.
So first, I think we gathered the theme, like
Topic.
Hey, topic.
Yeah.
How about this title and like this is the reference link. We needed to gather that. Kay shared me the document link where I can put all these.
Right.
And then I had a weekly meeting with Kay, mostly because he was a part of Japan.
Yes.
And we picked the best ones, only the best ones. Not like, hey, it's easy to make. Oh, we can maybe make these videos too. But he always wanted to go with the best, authentic ones.
Yeah, or in-depth thing that we can really go ask more in-depth questions about, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Now I understand why he did that.
So once we decide on the topic, yeah.
Script writers started writing scripts. Like in your case, you don't need script, but other reporters like me, we need a script.
Or you mean like questions in advance?
Yes, question lists.
At least you would ask.
And then translate it, and then book videographer, one videographer for straight interview, and just show up on the interview spot.
How do you choose an interview spot?
It's tricky in Japan because like we can't really use tripod.
Right.
In Japan,
right.
we need permissions with most of the places.
Even if it's a public places.
Yes. So mostly, if we don't pick the right place, we will be kicked out. We would be.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So it was kind of hard, but I know few places we won't be kicked out. So I was picking those places, but like finding those safe spots, it took me years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were kicked out quite a few times. But yeah, anyway, we go to the filming spot around like 10 a.m. and start interviewing. Approaching people. That's also super hard.
Yeah.
We need at least 10 groups for one video, right?
Yeah, yeah. So in order to get that many people, for like a 10 to 15 sets of people, how many times did you have to approach?
At least 100 to 150. Right. At least.
Right. So that's about the conversion rate of 10%, 5%?
5.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's extremely time consuming because people think, oh, why don't you interview these people? Why don't you interview these people? I'm like,
it's not possible. Yeah. It's really not possible. I mean, like in Japan, we say 大丈夫. It means it's okay. And when I say like, could I ask you some questions? 大丈夫です. What is okay? It's not okay with me. I was pissed the whole time. Like, stop saying 大丈夫 to me. You know, they were like, 大丈夫です, 大丈夫です. And most of them said no in nice way, hidden ways. Because many of the Japanese people are shy, or most of the people don't have time to stop and listen to what I have to say, right? And I'm not paying them, so I can't really complain, but I was complaining the whole time. But anyway.
Typically, Japanese people, and similar to Korean people, are very camera shy. Why do you think that is?
Well, some of the Japanese company might have policy of not, letting them be in front of the camera, maybe. Or like that. This was something I got so many times. They told me like, so what's the theme? And I told them like, oh, it's not really hard. It's about blah, blah, blah. And I just want few, opinions from you.
Yeah.
Like, you like it or not, whether you like it or not. And they were like, wow, my opinion isn't really good enough for this topic.
That is, that's so funny. Korean people say the exact same thing. They say, oh, I'm just afraid of sounding stupid because my opinion is not good enough. That maybe I get like a lot of hate comments or something like that. So it's not even whether they are actually camera shy, but they think it's too embarrassing to express an opinion because it's not the culture, right? That they're not used to just saying it, but they're afraid of being judged by people. They're not on the internet.
But that's
right?
kind of understandable.
Yeah. So that's the most common thing that we get. But I think people need to realize how tough it is to approach people in Japan. And you have a friendly, bubbly personality. Whereas if I have to approach, right, okay, and we were like, I was really good in Japan.
Oh.
Remember? Because
Sakuragicho Station, I think.
And it was almost like 100% hit rate.
Wow.
Because I just like, hi, excuse me. And then
In English,
all
they
of
were
a
like-
sudden they're like, huh? Yeah.
Do you need any help?
Yeah.
Right?
And then Kay would just quickly come in.
True. He's really good.
So I can stop people in Japan, and then because I speak English, they're okay, he's not Japanese. And then Kay just comes in.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And Kay is the one who gave me tips on how to say hi to
Yeah,
people
yeah.
and get interviewees. And every time my heart broke, I called Kay like, I really want to stop. People hates me. And Kay was like, Hiroko, remember these tips. Tips number 1. Do not work with them.
Yeah.
Just stop so that they would stop with you. Okay? yeah. He was giving me all the tips, and that's how I kind of survived. Like during the middle of interview, I always like called him like twice or 3 times. And
Yeah, because it gets tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And sometimes it's extreme weather conditions.
Oh yeah.
It's too hot,
Yeah.
or it's raining, and
windy.
we still have to get it done.
I know.
Yeah, I think the only time we actually couldn't do anything is in India, where it's like actually flooding and monsoon season. Then we can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to protect your camera.
Yeah, that's too much. But if it's just raining, maybe
We were
just go on the
doing it.
cover or
With umbrella.
or something. But yeah,
That
so
was tough.
well, we still do it every day.
Wow.
Still do it. So approaching people is one thing,
Yes.
and let's say they stop because they are actually interested and they want to maybe share their experience. What's sort of like the biggest lesson you learned from interviewing all these random people on the street? Again, these are busy people. They're not thinking a lot about things. They have to go.
I mean, like, I thought Japanese people are too shy on showing their opinion, but once they start talking, they're kind of bold,
Okay.
I think. And yeah, nice.
What about the quality of their answers generally?
It's hard for us to get the deep ones because they don't have much time. And we have like tons of questions.
Yeah.
And we need to dig deep
Yeah.
with each one of it.
Yeah. So what's the most common answer that you would get from people if you ask these deep questions?
They were like, yeah, I think so, period. Or,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like most people, I think people sometimes forget that these are not professors. These are not students. So most common answer I get is like, I don't know. Right? That's the most common answer, right?
That's,
Hey, what do you think
It
about this?
happens.
Like, do you agree, disagree? Like, I don't know.
true.
In every language that they say I don't know. So we have to like, oh, okay, then you need to dig deeper.
That's true. Because we need many types of answers, opinions. Just yes or no is not an answer.
Exactly.
We don't count it as an answer. It's not interesting anyways.
So did you have any specific techniques to bring it out?
Kind of, yes. When I feel like, oh, she is not feeling comfortable enough to open up and start her own, talk, then I start mine. Like, hey, but by the way, in my case, I think this is blah, 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 but there are so many opinions.
That's a great technique. It's almost like you're prompting them by sharing your own experience and then give them this examples.
If I can we can show them, like, they don't need to be perfect. They can just show their version of opinions. It doesn't have to be, super cool. And I'm not going to tell them to answer like me. It's just my story, and we're not going to judge them.
Yeah. That's when I noticed that your interviewing skills, because before, there were some like short
I was
answers.
just reading all the time. But the time I changed that was the time, like, after you stayed at my place, you and Kay, you guys stayed at my place,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And then we went to like street interview shooting together, and I saw you and Kay doing the street interview, and I was like, ooh. And I've asked so many random pain in the ass questions, like, hey Stephen, why did you ask like that? Blah 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 blah. And like, you told me something like, let's not judge or something. We never walk like walked with his shoes. And that was kind of eye-opening to me. And that's how I kind of learned. Like, we shouldn't judge others' stories. Maybe sometimes my opinion and your opinion is different.
Exactly.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
And I've lived and walked my life, my story, but you've never, and other way around. I've never walked or see this world through your shoes. So
I said that to you?
kind of like that.
Oh, I don't even remember this. Yeah.
And that's when I changed, like, oh, okay, maybe this interview is not for, how can I say, get the correct answers. It's just to listen to, people's stories.
Yeah.
See their lives. That's what I thought. And yeah, that's when I could like go, hey,
Wow.
a little bit. I
Yeah.
improved it super tiny steps.
I would disagree. I think your learning curve, yeah, you're slow, and then you just went like that.
Really?
Because you got better so fast. That's when we started like, you know what? You should try to like interview one-on-one all these like a mini docu, but
Yeah,
more like
yeah.
an expert or interesting people that are not street
That was
interviews.
also super hard.
It's
way harder than street
yeah,
interviews. Yeah, but
so street
way more
interview
fun.
was more like your school.
True.
And then you graduate to do like a in-depth
Documentary.
one-on-one docus and shadowing them, doing different activities together. What you just said is that you finally realize how important this not judging people is. I think you just took it to another level. That sometimes you're talking to some like ridiculous stories. and then talk. Remember that guy? A guy who was dating a cockroach or something like that.
Shinohara-san, like the Earth Boy.
Earth Boy.
I think Shinohara-san, that guest,
Yeah.
Earth Boy, was dating his lovely
cockroach.
Lisa.
Yeah.
But Lisa died, passed away, and he ate her to, be together with her truly, I think.
Yeah. So, I'm a pretty good interviewer.
I know. You're
but
the master.
If I'm doing that interview, let's say, I think I'll just lose it.
Really?
I mean, because I admire your ability to no, you're like a professional. So this is Lisa, yeah, okay, right? And it's like, so how did you guys end up going out? And I'm like,
but I think I was giggling from time to time. Maybe editor did.
Yeah, no, we edited it.
Yeah, thank you.
We edited those parts out. But I think that's when our viewers are like, okay, Hiroko's like one of the top Asian boss interviewers, right?
That was actually really fun, though.
Yeah.
Like, I love documentary filming day, not preparation. That's really too much. But filming day is like, how can I say, a Christmas present to us, me and videographer friends. Seriously, all the guests. Because, like, my former boss, Kay, who was a bully, forced me to only get the best one for our documentary guests. Not like, we have 3 ninjas and 2 of them seems available, but the best one, he is impossible to get.
Then we get that.
Yes!
Yeah.
I told Kay, like, it's impossible, please. It's okay to go with this one. This one is legit ninja too. But he's like, Hiroko, deep down you know that it's not true. It's like and for ninja video, like the first ninja video, it took me like 10 months for negotiating with his manager.
Okay, talk about that part because I think I think the process is called, for those who don't know, is called fixing. So fixing is where producer pretty much try to find like
the best fit,
the newsworthy or individual, and then they have to agree to do this interview, right? So number one, you have to find the right person, and that takes a long time. You have to find the right talent.
That's true.
Then you have to convince them, number two, to say yes. So that's one thing I actually wanted you to talk about, how tough that process is, and maybe give some examples.
Most of the time, like, we need to start finding the contact.
That's
Like the person, finding that person is already hard, but finding some random person's contact info,
That's hard.
it's pretty, like, it takes hundreds of hours, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, when you find that number to university school where he used to work a few years ago, you call them and like, hi, I want to ask you something. I'm Hiroko from Asian Boss. And they were like, what? Who? I'm looking for this sensei who had already left you like a few years ago. And they were like, sorry? Why are you guys asking me? You are the only clue I have, blah, blah, blah. And then...
It's almost like a private detective work,
I know, right?
Yeah.
And finally, you get the right contact and then start negotiating. And we didn't have enough budget back then.
Yeah.
And like some of the guests who are already super popular, because we are only going for the best one, not the second best one. We needed to go to the best one. So best and most authentic one is usually super hard to get. And other channels, it might be easier because they can go with the second best one. They are happy with the second best one as well. But somehow we weren't happy with that.
So you were really just, again, making the impossible possible.
Oh, but yeah, that's also I've learned from Kay. I told Kay, like, I think it's impossible. They say no. And Kay was like, okay, keep calling them. Like, and then after I keep calling them and texting them for every single day for like few months, they gave up. Oh, okay, would you just please stop harassing me? And I'm like, oh, so are you open to...
So I know that both Kay and me, sometimes we were very hard on you in terms of trying to, just maximize your potential. But the fact is, you really grew.
That's so true.
And then you also, I think, have that in you, that this character of not giving up.
But not that strong one. I was always kind of like almost crying and saying, no, I can't do it. Almost, I hate you, to Kay when I panic and when I think I can't. But Kay was like always chill, like, yeah, I know, it's hard. Yeah, you can do it. And thanks to that support, I could, how can I say, no, I can't do that. I could express how I feel vulnerable with these impossible projects. Thanks to that, I somehow made it. With these success experiences changed me, I think. I've seen like, oh, we can make it possible cases, right? Thanks to that.
It's like a positive reinforcement, right?
If I don't know that's actually possible, if I haven't seen them, I don't think like this, the way I think right now. But thanks to these experiences, it was frustrating sometimes. But thanks to that, I could train myself, and I know that I can do it.
I think it just goes on to show how tough this whole process of fixing is. And sometimes you have to be really creative in trying to find the contact details even, because it's not available. Like, how do you find these people?
Internet surfing for like
days,
hours,
right?
days, weeks.
Do you think that it's possible to talk about that instance where I heard it was like especially rough? Because sometimes even the people that we end up doing interviews with, they're kind of like bad people. Maybe like they're like a gang member or something.
That was so scary.
Yeah, can you talk to the viewers a little bit about that, to the extent that you can?
we decided not to upload that video
Oh yeah.
to protect my safety, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Who did we interview at the time?
Um,
Like you don't have to mention names,
Yeah.
but like his position and things like that.
right wing
Right.
people.
Right. Like an extreme far right, like a political activist type, right?
Yes, yes.
And we thought it was a good idea to get his perspective,
Their perspectives.
their perspectives. But then, what kind of shit did you go through?
Some of their minimes
Yeah,
called me and blackmailed.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that was my first time talking to those kind of like, for me they are scary.
Yeah.
So those scary people, I was too scared, so I even recorded the video
Wow.
and sent it to my mom like, thanks mom, I love you the most. If I die, please know that I love you the most, mama. And I went to the filming,
Wow.
and filming went actually well, and it
okay.
was fun.
Yeah.
But
Even afterwards, right?
afterwards, I
Yeah.
got those calls. That was super stressful. We were spending kind of a lot of budget
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. We spent quite a lot of money on that. Yeah.
We prepared a professional videographer who is not
Yeah,
cheap.
because we thought that this was like gonna be like an important shoot.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of money, but then we saw what you were going through.
Yeah, that was
and I
super
was
scary.
like, no, we can
Yeah.
upload this.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
protecting me back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember after that, like even other topic like homeless people one, Kay decided to come to Japan
Yeah.
so that I don't need to be a reporter.
Yeah. I mean, for the homeless shoot, I was there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And I was behind the camera.
Yeah.
And the homeless guy was actually nice to
Yeah,
us.
he was actually quite nice.
yeah.
So you just went through so many things that people just don't see in front of the camera because they always see you on screen as this like a cool, very attentive and caring, and you're like non-judgmental, but
But like I remember one thing with that Earth boy,
yeah. The cockroach person.
Lisa's boyfriend. At his place, there were too many insects, and I needed to like feed into the, how can I say, box
Yeah.
of like 4,000 to 6,000 of crickets,
Oh
a banana,
my
and
God.
I was like dead. I hate insects. I was like, oh my God, I'm going home. I really don't want to film this. I was screaming the whole time, and that was my second time
Yeah.
filming with one of my best friend, aka
camera
videographer,
Yeah.
Yuya. And Yuya was like, Hiroko-san, it's okay.
But you didn't show it.
I showed it 100%. Maybe editor did his work.
Well, actually, I edited it.
Thank you so much.
And then after you really made a reputation for yourself as like, okay, so she's the reporter from Asian Boss. So what was sort of like your mindset at the time when you were fairly well known?
To be honest, it pretty much never changed. I always thought like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. I could do like
Even
this,
at that point. Wow.
And yeah, at some point, I even stopped watching your video because I felt like a loser. Like, oh, if I were him, I could ask like that. Shit. And
Oh, you mean my
yes,
video?
Yes, yours and Kay's. I was
What?
like for the first few years, I was trying to copy your style. Like, so I was watching your videos like this the whole time, but at some point I stopped watching your videos because I felt like I'm not good enough. So it's not good for mental health. I have my style, so yeah. But from time to time, I was sneak peeking your videos, and I was trying to like copy your like serious face. I was like in front of the mirror. I'm like, I see. Oh, I sound cool.
That's not what I say. I don't go like, I see. Do I do that?
And
I don't do that.
you're like caring face, like, and I'm like, okay.
I feel like you kind of sometimes go like
I'm nodding. I can't even nod. I'm literally just nodding.
I really didn't know what to do. So yeah.
So what do you think that I was doing that you could actually implement?
At first, I was controlled by the script, right? I was like, the theme is this one. I need to ask these questions and I need to ask this amount of answers. So what's the questions missing? I was thinking on my brain, but you were just asking people's story, right?
Yeah.
And you can like edit the video on your brain. while you
because
are
I've been doing it
asking.
for a long time. Yeah. I mean, we're not using any scripts now, and as I said,
I was so surprised. I've never done that.
oh really?
I've never done that. I always had a script.
Like questions, you mean? Prepared questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, not prepared answers. But
Right.
We had prepared questions.
Yeah.
At least basic ones. So I just needed to go with that one. I was super surprised that you don't need one. I was like, so what's the next question? What's the next question? Oh my God, the guest stopped talking.
Because if you know that you have a question there, your brain it gets like, okay, I don't have to remember this then because it's already here. Whereas I try to remember and then I just let everything go. But look, I mean, to be fair to you though, I think you've just became an amazing interviewer that I honestly think you can teach people. Maybe many people want to be like Hiroko now, even though now you're a mom and you're working on another career path. The thing is, we're always like part of the same family now. But and then so after this, like a professional, almost like one-on-one interview and doing the docus, when did it hit you that wow, okay, so my career path is now completely different? So before, did you always have some sort of a plan that I want to be in the media industry or I want to do this type of social media stuff?
Never. I didn't even have like Twitter, TikTok account back then.
What did you think you'll end up doing?
English teacher.
Oh, you just
I
wanted
thought,
to be an English teacher. Okay.
I was going to continue teaching English to kids with my mom. And that was dream job to me back then.
Wow, okay.
But now I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. I'm so happy that I quit it and then joined Asian Boss. That opened up my world.
What kind of opportunities did it give you then?
Because of those viral videos result, I've got one of the top brands offers from all over the world on Instagram DMs. Through Instagram
So
DMs.
they just DM you?
Yeah. Through like agencies, contact person, would you do this, one of the biggest sports brands? Like so many offers came through DM. And I was hyped, but saying no to them. Then like I resigned Asian Boss because I wanted to be a part of like Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Actually, people question like, oh, why did Hiroko, like, did you guys fire her or something like that?
No.
But the Olympic thing, maybe you should explain, was really one of your passions, right?
Yeah, I really wanted to be a part of Tokyo Olympics with my mom. That had been our dream.
Yeah.
And me and my mom had a job interview together.
Really?
And we've passed the same position as a translator for NBC and other huge TV crews.
Yeah.
And we were going to be the guide.
Wow.
But then Olympics were postponed for like 1-2 years,
That's
right?
That's right.
So although I resigned Asian Boss, but I had no job.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling, and I knew you guys were struggling too. So I really didn't want to be a burden. So I couldn't say I want to come back. But I knew Kay was like, "Are you okay? You can come back
we were asking.
anytime."
Yeah.
But I was like, I should find something myself. That was my decision. Blah blah blah. So I took like 営業 sales lady's position, which is super shitty, and yeah. I needed to struggle even more. I thought, I don't think I can make living. Then my YouTuber friend said hi to me like, hey, like this company's CEO wants to talk to you because he's so your video on YouTube. My video, Asian Boss video on YouTube. And they scouted me.
Wow.
That's why I started to work for social media.
Yeah.
And thanks to that experience, I could work on, as a strategist, social media strategist, which I had no idea what I was doing back then, to be honest. But thanks to Asian Boss experience,
Right.
they saw me like, oh, Hiroko is, on all the viral videos.
Yeah.
She must know how to make viral stuff. Fake it till you make it. But hope my former bosses won't see this.
No, I think it's quite interesting because first of all, at the time, even though we were paying you the best we could to try to make you our full-time, even to date, you've seen my begging video, messaging videos, so I feel like we're always kind of struggling for money. But I think that's slowly coming to an end now. We're really trying to be in a good position where we can retain people with enough financial incentives. But yeah, at the time, I remember I was actually really happy for you because you were able to get a bigger salary to work for like a prestigious social media agency, and then that ended up giving you even more of like a path,
I became job hopper, partially because of my pregnancy. I mean, my babies.
Yes, that's right.
So the first agency I've started working there, that place was like a paradise. I love everyone there, and I was kind of too busy, but I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I was proud of it. I was happy. I was learning how to run social, how to run campaigns for brands, blah, blah, blah. And it was so much fun. But then I found out that I will become a mom. Also, I will need to be the one who will be, how can I say, supporting my family financially, mostly.
You're the breadwinner, basically.
And I found out a month before giving a birth. So I was like, shit, I need to change my job. That's when I started to work super hard. And then I started to be a job hopper. And I jumped to like way better salary. And now I'm like, I never thought I can have this much career with my life. But it all started with Asian Boss. And every time I got scout, some of the social media division bosses from headquarters, they told me like, oh, Hiroko from Asian Boss. They still know me.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
That's cool though.
But like younger people don't know me anymore. It was like long time ago. Yeah, my career changed a lot. I never thought I could be this rich. I mean, I'm not rich, but
You're very comfortable.
comfortable.
Because you work with top brands as your client.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Not rich at all, but rich enough to secure my baby's safety, feed my babies.
I'm really happy to hear that though. You're qualified to be the breadwinner of the family, to take care of all these people, which is crazy.
Thanks to my family's help too. Like when I need to go for my work, I can relax because my mom is taking great care of my children. So that's why I can do me.
But I guess this is an important question. You're obviously much wiser and probably have more wisdom and life experience now that you had babies. How did your perspective shift as a mom?
Well, before, to be honest, I wasn't that interested in political stuff or
Like a serious topics.
I was only interested in happy stuff or fun stuff. But now I do care about it because I know the fact that, my son, daughter, their
Gonna live.
children will live longer, way longer than I do. So I really want them to stay safe, happy, in a great environment. So we need to be a bit more, how can I say, interested.
So now you're so good at social media stuff.
I'm supposed to.
Right. And then, so you've obviously, you're aware of this type of technological shifts in AI. Everything is just becoming so automated. People are losing jobs. How do you see that affecting your next generation?
But like AI won't take over our jobs, I think. They can support our job. They can support to make our life easier. But it won't get at least my job.
But do you think that things are slowly evolving to the point where even like little children, they just want to rather be a YouTuber these days or
Why not?
social media? So you're okay with that?
I'm so cool with it. I mean, I've seen so many influencers who make living with PRL posts because I've been working as influencer side.
Well, you are the influencer.
I'm not really, but like I have been working as an agency side who offered influencers PR posts and brand side who offer them, PR post for new product launch.
Yeah.
So I know how much those budgets are, and I know how serious those influencers' jobs are. Creators are not just for fun. Like I think that's one of the hardest job I've seen. It's way harder than being a full-time, worker. You need to make sure that you can feed yourself. With my situation right now, I just need to wait for my job to come with the, how can I say, belt conveyor. I don't need to go take my job.
Yeah.
It's automatically come in front of me. So I don't need to worry about my, next week's payment.
Yeah. You have job security, you have the pipeline of people coming to you.
But YouTubers, TikTokers, they need to hunt all the time by themselves. And like there's no, how can I say, promise that this video, 100% this video goes viral.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. Yeah.
There's no guarantee. An algorithm changes all the time. So I think it's one of the hardest job. But if my son is up for it, I will support him. I even want to train him.
Well, you should.
I will make strategy slides for him.
So I guess our plan is to see if it's possible to create more of you. So in other words, not just in Japan, but young people around Asia, because we also value authentic, cool stories, not just from Japan, but from many parts of Asia.
Yes.
And to do that, we need to train a lot of people. And you already, you've seen us training already thousands of people.
That's so true.
And I honestly think I'll be training people till the day I die. But what kind of tips or any mindset insights can you share with these like future students or citizen journalists who really wants to attain that type of personal brand that you are able to accumulate? Because you became your own, right? You're not just Hiroko from Asian Boss, now you're Hiroko. So how can people achieve that?
Anyone can achieve that, I think, if you have the chance. I think they shouldn't give up before try it. They shouldn't set the limit. Nothing is impossible. They need to keep that in mind. It's always nice not to judge people. Even when that people sounds super extreme and crazy, I'm sure they have their own story. They have their own reasons. That's what you told me. Like, not crazy stuff, but like, I'm sure she has her own stories. She has her own reasons to believe what they believe. So never judge people.
But how do you resist the temptation? Like sometimes it just so goes against your experience.
You're human, so if you want to judge, sometimes it's fine, I think. It's okay. I mean, you don't have to fake yourself.
that's one of the things people really value about you. Is like you come across so authentic, right?
Really.
Yeah, you don't put on a front like you're acting. Would you agree?
I mean, I was super, 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 super nervous in front of the camera, like 3 cameras the whole time. And like one time I even got panicked, and like every time I needed to film intro and outro in front of one camera, I kind of panicked and I couldn't breathe nicely.
Wow.
I was like, hey guys, sorry, wait.
Really?
I went like that for a short period of time, and I struggled. But we had been in front of camera for how many years?
Yeah.
Right?
Many
And
years.
like so many documentary filmings, non-stop camera. So at some point I stopped caring about like the camera. It's like, I don't know, sofa, table, chair to me.
So you just become numb to it, right? You just get used to it.
Like I don't focus on like I'm filmed. I don't really feel anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it comes to photo shoot, when I booked like professional photographer for my children's, birthday, blah blah blah, I froze. I'm like, I'm not used to it. So like, even when photographers tell me, please stay natural, don't do peace sign, I panic and I can't really do so. Most of my photos, I'm like so awkward. But
Yeah.
when it comes to videos, I really don't care.
So it's experience
yes.
plus the fact that you don't try to be anyone else, but
There's no point.
there's no point. You just why. But I don't know why people from this like a front,
Maybe they feel insecure. When I was young, I was, how can I say, I wanted to be competitive. I wanted to seem a little bit cuter than who I am. But I really don't care right now. I mean, I'm confident
Yeah.
of who I am.
Yeah.
And like whether how I look bad or good, I don't really care. I am who I am, and I'm confident and I'm happy, so I don't really care about what others think about me. I mean, I'm so happy when someone tells me like, oh, you're nice. I'm so happy. But for example, we come across negative comments, right?
Tell us
so
how
many times.
how you also dealt with those type of negative comments too at first.
I was so shocked. I was crying. I was repeatedly reading them.
Really?
But then, like, I stopped caring about, like, I mean, how can I say? I stopped spending those times. I mean, time is limited. And, like, it's up to us if we want to stay positive or negative. And if we focus on those negative comments, that's our loss, right? We just don't need to read them. I mean, sometimes read and agree, like, true. Like, sometimes I agree.
That's pretty cool. Like the hate comment, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah, true.
I'll give it a
I
like,
sometimes,
yeah.
did it.
But I think that's a very, very valuable advice, especially for people who want to establish that personal brand. They want to get to where you are, and they want to have all these opportunities, but they always have to start somewhere. And like you say, it's always like the toughest part, because at the beginning, you feel insecure, you don't have experience, you don't have the opportunity.
It's true, that's true.
So then they have to figure something out, and it's always like that, almost like a compounding effect, right?
True. You can't really be loved by everyone. Even when you are an angel, you can't. And haters gonna hate anyways.
Do you think that this type of almost like level of emotional maturity also comes from the fact that you're now a mother?
No. I mean, because thanks to Asian Boss's, how can I say, famousness, I didn't just get tens or hundreds of comments, right? I got thousands of hate
Tens
comments.
of thousands.
Yeah, and like attacking DMs, like,
Wow.
yo, you're just spreading not true. I mean, fake news, like, stop hating Japan, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, for the first few years, I was carefully checking my videos. Like, oh, this part, I was nodding too much. Or I was checking how to improve. Checkpoint number 1, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I don't know, after 3-4 years, I didn't even want to watch my videos. Maybe before uploading it, like for check
check,
links,
exactly,
yeah. Kay send me check links and I see it with like 2 times faster speed. And I'm like, okay, it's good to go. And after that, I don't watch them. But sometimes my friends send me screenshots of fun comments.
Yeah.
And then I go to that video and find that comment and like secretly like or reply from my sub account.
Yeah, yeah.
But making that content and showing authentic, real stuff that's happening is cool.
Very cool.
But you don't need to go back and check how you look, how people might see you, feel about you. It's just a waste of time. If you have the time to do that, you can just move on and think about the next project.
You're starting to sound like me.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm looking at another version of me. So, but one thing I am not, but you are, is you're now a mom. What does it mean for you to be a mom?
Super hard. Sleepless night. But I don't know why, but it's everything to me. I'm super, super lucky to have those angels. And yeah, now I never, I was never good at negotiating for myself. But now I always negotiate and I always tell them like my time is limited. I'm not that cheap because I want to, provide them better life. And I think I could become stronger thanks to them. But still, I thought I'm the one who is growing, parenting them. But I think they're the ones that are parenting me. I mean, I never thought I'm this childish. I never thought I'm this. I never knew I'm this small. But yeah, thanks to them, I think I'm facing to myself.
Well, on my part, it's amazing to see your transformation and growth to being an amazing mom and how you handle your career. And I think we're just happy to provide you with anything that you're able to get to where you have all the friendship you've built. And we're just really happy to be part of your journey. So, on behalf of obviously Kay as well, that I'm just grateful that we were able to have someone like you who was so proactive, and I'm pretty sure we'll continue to work on many, many projects together in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your stories and,
Wait, sorry, I forgot to share you one fun fact.
Okay.
My husband was one of our videographers.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I didn't meet him through Asian Boss. I just dragged him into it.
Okay.
But he had been helping us for a few years. Like, remember the guy who can't speak English and said some super strange English to me?
Yeah.
That's my partner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, yeah, I really feel like we're family because I just like know
Yeah.
everybody, and then
Yeah.
soon looks like I'll be the one babysitting your babies. So,
Yay.
but
Evidence.
but yeah, I think we're just lucky to have you, even as Asian boss, and everything that you've achieved, it's credit to you. We were just there to provide you with the opportunity, and you're the one that grabbed it. So yeah, I just hope that you continue to be involved with our broader initiative movement to foster, citizen journalism and train many students and young
So
people
cool.
in the world around Asia and around the world. And as a result, I hope the world just becomes a slightly better place with all these authentic stories, surfacing, and then people can like really listen to each other and have a fun conversation like this everywhere.
Sure.
So that'll be sort of my vision. But just glad to have you on board in this journey. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure that we'll just do this thing from time to time. But yeah, don't worry, Hiroko's not gone.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But you have now more important things to do, like being a mom, and looking after your family and everything. So yeah,
I'm pretty much crying along with my babies the most of the time. It's like when they don't stop crying, I cry along with them. So yeah, that's how I keep myself busy.
yeah. Very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's
Keep in touch.
keep in touch and do
You
fun
should
things
stay
together.
here. For sure.
Okay. All right. That's it, everybody. All right.